Hi everyone, my name is Doug Baldwin. I'm the Associate Director here at the Piscataway Public Library, and welcome to our MIY Make It Yourself Makerspace. I'm really excited to be able to talk about some of the resources that we have here in the Makerspace, and hope that soon enough, when things are safe, we'll be able to invite you all back in to be able to access and utilize a lot of the tools and resources that we have here. So I'm going to get started. We're going to talk about one of the bigger tools that we have here, which I know a lot of our librarians think is really cool, and I do too, and that's our Glowforge laser cutter. So basically what it allows you to do is take different types of materials, put it on inside the machine, and then we can send digital files to the machine to be able to create all kinds of really different types of objects. So I have a couple examples here where we can do engraving, we can cut things out. I've got one of my favorites here, my little friend in the teacup there. So it allows you to really be able to create a whole variety of different things using digital design technology and a really cool laser. So the next item I'd like to show you all here in the Makerspace is our 3D printer. So you may have heard about these. They've come down in cost a bit, so there's more of them certainly out there. It's basically a way to take a digital model and be able to bring it to life and sort of bring it into the physical world in 3 dimensions. So what we do is we have a plastic filament that loads in here from the top through what they call the hot end into the extruder, and then out until we have a physical object. We've been offering 3D printing both as a service and as an accessible tool for several years now. And what was really interesting is that we got to use this printer during the early stages of the pandemic to be able to print different types of PPE that were then donated to a group called Middlesex County Masks, which then redistributed those items to local hospitals and other healthcare facilities. So this is one of the services that, despite the pandemic and despite even the library closing for a short period in the early spring and early and late spring, that kept on going. So this item is definitely here. We offer it as a service. So you can send us 3D files. We'll print them out for you. And at least for right now, we're printing at no cost for anybody in grades K to 12 due to a recent grant that we received. So, anyway, it's definitely still accessible while the Makerspace is still closed. So I just want to highlight some additional tools and resources that we have here in the Makerspace. Some of them we've had for a while. Some of them are brand new to the space and everywhere sort of in between. So the first thing I wanted to highlight is our sewing machines. These are actually one of our more popular items. We have quite a few different types of sewing classes that we offer here at the library. We're even offering sewing classes currently on Zoom with Mary, so if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely look on the website, check it out. We do have several of these machines here at the library that we offer for people to come in and use when the Makerspace is open, so very cool. We have quite a few different robotics platforms. This is just a few of them. We actually have more in additional storage, but this here is the Sphero, which some of you may have seen before. These are pretty popular, and it can be controlled with a phone or a tablet app and be sort of driven around. It can also be programmed with block-based programming languages. This is sort of his little cousin here. This is the Sphero Mini. So same sort of thing, just a lot smaller, a lot cuter. And we have here Dash, and his cousin Dot is actually inside one of our cabinets over there. This robot has quite a few different features on it. Again, it can also be controlled with a mobile device as well as being programmed with a block-based programming language. So we have quite a few different robotics and coding platforms here that people can take advantage of and utilize. We have here, our next item is the Cubelets. So these are actually really cool. This is one of our newer items to the Makerspace. It's something that we're hoping to be able to offer all of you once the Makerspace is back up and running. Basically, it works with these different cube-sized blocks that hold together and snap together with magnets, and they can be turned into all different types of robots. So you have knobs, you have switches, you have motion sensors, lights, a lot of different ways that you can sort of assemble your robot, and these can also be programmed as well. So this is a great way for sort of beginners to learn about robotics. These are one of my favorites. We've got quite a few of these. We've actually even given these away at different programs through grant funding, and these are the Microbits. Just come a little closer there. These are small programmable boards with built-in LED lights, buttons, all kinds of sort of connectors here, and what they call pins on the bottom, so you can connect it to other different devices. These can be programmed on their own to help people learn how to code, but they can also actually even be attached to robots and sort of be the brains of the operation to create all different types of robotics projects. So very extendable. Again, this is also one of my favorites. So this is a little more low tech. We can still learn about coding even if we don't have something plugged in or something with a battery in it. So this is Robot Turtles. I've actually played this with my daughter quite a few times. And the idea behind the game is to be able to give directions to the different turtles to be able to obtain the jewels here. And you have to do it through different types of coding based cards. So it helps to teach about sequencing, about putting things in order, about how to follow basic instructions and how those instructions then lead from one goal to another goal. So it's a very cool way, especially with younger children, to get them to learn about the basics of coding concepts. So the next item or two items I would like to show you allow us to be able to take vinyl and make all kinds of sort of different creative designs and add them to apparel or add them to notebooks or pretty much anything else. So the machine that we have here, some of you may be familiar with this, is a Cricut. We also have a Cameo silhouette cutter. What we can do with these is actually take a digital design, load the vinyl into the machine, and have the machine cut out that digital design to precision. We can work with adhesive back vinyl, we can work with heat transfer vinyl, and then what you can do is basically either take it and stick it on something, or with the heat transfer vinyl, you can come on over here to our heat press, put a t-shirt or a hat or some other type of heat resistant material on here, clamp on down, back up, and then you would have your vinyl transferred onto your t-shirt or whatever you might be making. So you've seen quite a few of the things that we do have in the Makerspace that are technology related, coding, digital design, things of that nature. But here in the Makerspace, we like to make a lot of things with our hands as well. So we actually have a variety of different types of hand tools that you can have access to. This is just a small sampling, so things like wire cutters, different size pliers, as well as actually a different variety of saws that we have here as well. We have things like hammers and mallets, drills, screwdrivers, you name it. We have all different types of hand tools. A lot of people don't necessarily learn how to use a lot of hand tools these days, so we feel like that's a place where the Makerspace can sort of focus and especially work with young people to learn how to use those tools. The next item I'm going to show you here in the Makerspace is actually one of the probably most popular items that we have patrons and visitors use when we're doing either outreach or programs here in the library when that's possible, and that's our button maker. So we have actually two button makers which can make two different size buttons. You put the materials in one side, sort of clamp down, bring the material around, a little more clamping, and then you would have your button right here sort of ready to go. We've made quite a few buttons with all ages, and it's definitely one of our more popular items when people are able to come visit the Makerspace. Something we're actually really excited about and hoping to be able to provide access to sometime, hopefully in the future, are our young STEM kits here. So we've actually made quite a bit of investment in trying to get different types of kits that younger patrons can come in and use and be able to learn all those different STEM skills. So something here we have is the Code and Go robot mouse, which sort of follows a path and can be pre-programmed with large buttons on top. We also have our Let's Go Code, which is actually, and I can hold this up a little bit, is almost like a mat where you would actually walk on it and follow different sequences and different types of code. We actually have a wide variety of other building blocks, different types of structures here is one example from Kiva. We're hoping to be able to do a wide variety of different types of programming with these investments, hopefully in the near future. So that's definitely something to stay tuned for. And we look forward to having you all back in the Makerspace when we can, and we'll be glad to see you.